So the inspiration for this spread came from my bullet journal setup from back in January. For that video, I used a lot of one-line drawings and a lot of pinks. So I'm going to use some pinks, some corals, and some peaches for my spread for April. Although these one-line drawings look simple, they weren't that simple to me. So I had to actually draw them out in pencil first. And right now I am just going over those pencil outlines with my Pigma Micron. Technically, I'm not sure if you can call this a one-line drawing since the eyebrow and the eye in the top left-hand corner was drawn separately, but everything else was one continuous line. I did draw it out in pencil first so that I knew what I was doing when I put my Micron to the paper. So now I am going to cut these pieces of paper out. Boom. Look at that editing magic. I'm going to start getting a little better with that, but for now, we'll take it. So I am using some Mod Podge to glue down my pictures in a collage over here on the left hand side. So I just pour some in the top and I use a paintbrush to go along the edges on the back of the picture, and I use it like that. So I did see someone else do this a few months ago, and I decided to use my Mod Podge for this. I also use it on my mom's March prayer journal. And I just really like how movable it is. Like right here, I moved that picture a couple of times before I glued it down. And it's kind of fun to play with. It's really fun to play with, but it's also very messy. So if you're gonna use it, try to contain it a little bit. I hope you're not as clumsy as I am and you can contain the mess. So once I am done gluing all of the images down, I'm just gonna take my Pigma Micron. This is a 0.05 nib, and I'm just going to go through, and right now I'm outlining the letters in that cutout that says Peachy Keen. I'm gonna add a few little accents, a couple of shadows, and just give these pictures some depth. I also add a couple of doodles to the large paper right here. And that's gonna be it for this page. Oh, I forgot to mention. So down at the bottom, I am going to add a little bit of washi tape. I have a lot of washi tape that I forget about, and this is one of those that I forgot about. So I have this washi tape that's clear with gold dots on it that I'm going to lay down right here. And I'm just gonna do 2 layers here so that I can go above it, or so that I can put a picture on top of it of this girl kind of lounging around reading a book. And then I'm going to go in and do some more doodles. I'm going to outline that picture, and that will be it. So this picture that I am putting some doodles on right now, it's basically a mini quote page. And the quote says, "Optimism is a self-fulfilling odyssey. Far from a fixed point or destination, it's a powerful practice we can cultivate along the way." And I wanted to use that quote number 1 because it matches my color scheme. And number 2, I'm trying to stay optimistic about a few things going on. And I think I've achieved that. I'm mainly an optimistic person, but recently I've been finding myself kind of thinking negatively or thinking the worst about some things. So I really wanted to include that quote just as a reminder. So the font I chose to use for April, I wanted it to look kind of messy, I guess, and loose and going along with the one-line drawing theme. So I just kind of wrote out April and chose a peachy marker from my Crayola Super Tips set to go along some of the edges. I also used like a mustard yellow tan color as well. Okay, y'all, on to the next page and the next day. So this is day 2 of setting up my April bullet journal. And so I kind of took so long to set this up because I was procrastinating and because I didn't know what to do. So when I lift this page up, you can kind of see some of the drawings I have on the left-hand side, and I just was not feeling it at all. So I decided to use this washi tape that's in the pattern of wood, but it's kind of see-through, and I didn't want the white of my bullet journal to show through. So I used some craft paper and taped it down to the craft paper instead, so it has a more brown look overall. After I'm done with that, I am going to use the Mod Podge all over this page. So if you don't have Mod Podge, I would use a glue stick. I know some people like that tape dispenser that you can just roll on the page. That works well too. I just find that using Mod Podge for thick pieces of paper like this works really well for me. And since I just used it for my mom's prayer journal, it was the first thing that came to mind when I was starting to glue things down in my journal. I do regularly use glue sticks, or I did in my previous videos, but I also like that the Mod Podge is multi-purpose and it gives a glossy finish. And by glossy finish, you can see what I mean in the video I posted for my mom's prayer journal, which I will link in the cards above. So this is my goals page. I'm using 3 sticky notes, these tan sticky notes that I got from Shein a while back. And I'm gonna have a goal on each sticky note, basically. So after I get these glued down, I'm going to continue on with the collage of this spread. So all of these pictures on this page and the page before it, I got on Pinterest. And the stickers were a gift, a Christmas gift from a coworker who knows that I really enjoy bullet journaling. So shout out to her. Here's a good reason why I like to use Mod Podge right here. I was able to peel that picture up and put the pink flowers underneath. When I work with a glue stick, I can't do that, but I also move pretty slow. So maybe that's just my problem. So I'm just going to put some details on these sticky notes and also this phone booth that says call for rosé. I thought that was pretty cute, especially since it's pink, you know, kind of a play on words type of thing. And yeah, that's going to be it for these few pictures. I'm going to add some shadows to these pictures up in the top right hand corner. She is wearing this very, very pretty pink coat, and she's holding some flowers. It's kind of hard to see, but she's holding like a bouquet of roses or some type of flowers. And it was just really pretty. So I went in and just added some details to that. I'm really enjoying drawing for this month. So if you've been watching my channel, you know that I haven't been drawing a lot lately, but for some reason this month I wanted to get back into it. So I have a lot of flower doodles, large petals, different types of flowers, and like little bulb leaves. I don't know how else to describe them, but I guess they would be like those little red cherry flowers that you would see. I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to label both of these pages. That page on the left, as I mentioned, is for goals, and this page right here on the right is for my morning routine. I'm adjusting it for this month, so I wanted another page to just kind of write it down. So I found this picture of, I guess this is like a tea kettle with some flowers coming out of it. And I just used that as a base and drew more flowers. So these large petals that I'm drawing right now are actually going to be a part of the Dutch door that I'm going to be cutting at the end of this video. So I wanted to make sure that they were large, that they were sticking out past the border that I drew on this page. You can kind of see it lightly drawn in pencil above and the dotted part at the top, and then a solid line at the bottom. And I did that because I wanted to make sure I knew for myself where I was going to have other flowers and where to cut. So now that I'm done drawing those in, I'm going to flip over to the next page. this page is another page that gave me some trouble. This page is the main reason why I took a day off from doing my bullet journal, and that's okay. I'm not the type of person who sits down and do my bullet journal normally in a full day, ever. The only time that it looks continuous is when I record a video. This is just the first time that I decided to say it in my video. I rarely, if ever, do a complete setup from start to finish just in one sitting. It's just not what I'm built to do right now. I don't know, maybe I'll get to that point, maybe I won't. So for this page, I had been seeing pictures on Pinterest of a butterfly, like half is a butterfly and the other half is flowers. And I'm not sure if on that picture they used it as a mood tracker, but that's what I'm going to use it for. So the right side of the butterfly that I'm coloring in right now will be for my mood tracker. Now these little bulbs that I'm drawing, I decided to just color those in and not make those a flower for my mood tracker because I like the depth that it gives to the entire butterfly. So in order to do this, I outlined and penciled the shape of the butterfly wings, and then I just went around that shape and I filled in that shape with flowers. These are the doodles that I've been drawing the entire time. This is another reason why it takes me so long to do my bullet journal videos. I came up with this idea to do these flowers. I completed this entire spread first in pencil, and then I went back and did the doodles that you guys just saw me do on my goals page. So for someone else, it may not be chronological and they may not do it that way. And if you are a chronological person, when you set up your journal, by all means, keep doing it that way. But for me, it works out very, very well. This page was going to be set up completely different, and I had to erase the entire spread on both pages before I was able to draw this big old butterfly. So right now I'm just filling in these flowers, or drawing them in. I'm going to fill them in with a color code for my moods. So I'm making sure that I have close to 30 flowers. I think I have 24 or 25 flowers in the butterfly outline on the right. And then down in the corner, I think I have about 5 more flowers for the remaining days of April. I didn't have enough, so I just drew another one, and I knew I needed a 19, so I just threw that 19 right there. I then went in and drew my habit tracker shapes off camera, and now I'm just filling in the space where I'm going to write the title of each habit right above each that rectangular shape. So on this next page, this is going to be my content calendar. And originally, as you can see, I had it all laid out. I lost a little bit of footage, but I had colored everything in very pretty. And then I got to the last row and realized I didn't have 30 circles. Big thumbs down. Okay, I don't know what happened. I didn't know what happened. So I flipped back, look at April at the very beginning of my bullet journal. And it took me a while to figure out what happened, actually. I left off a column for Sunday. I only did 6 columns, so that threw all of my numbers off. So what I did to fix that, I actually went back and filled all of the circles in with black and then wrote the numbers in white. So if you have something that happens like that, it's okay. Don't freak out like I did, because it took me a long time to figure out what I was going to do. Just go over it in black, use a white pen to write over that, and it'll be fine. Right here, I'm drawing a one-line drawing of an outline of some lips. And I apologize for that shadow. I was holding my computer up to kind of look at the one-line drawing. It was like a little video of how to do it. So I was holding my I was holding my computer up while I was doing the drawing and while I was writing brain dump. Don't know why I had to hold it up to write brain dump, but that's how my mind works. Okay, I have to finish what I'm doing before I can put the computer down, apparently. So I put some little doodles down in the bottom right hand corner. I'm gonna color them just a little bit using those same 2 little colors, the peach and the light pink from my Crayola Super Tips. And now I'm going to go back to the first page. If this is a little out of order for you, I'm sorry. Y'all are truly getting to see how my brain works, okay? So I put a little butterfly up at the top, and that's going to be the beginning of my Dutch door. So each Dutch door is going to have just a little bit of the collage sticking through. So as you can see, I'm cutting out like a curved shape around the butterfly, making sure to stay along the edges, but not completely get too close or cut it off. And then I'm going to cut off a sliver of my page, about 5 dot grid spaces in. I had already outlined that in pencil, as you guys saw a little bit earlier. So I'm going to do the same with this page, and you can see how they're kind of showing through. The collage is starting to show through on the right hand side. So I'm going to do it again on this page, cut around that big leaf. And then on this page, I'm going to fill in the rest of that collage. So right now I'm putting in circles where I want the big flowers to be. I start to fill them in or draw them in, and then I flip the pages up so that it is continuous on that back page. I hope that makes sense. So I go back and forth from having the pages cover the last part of the Dutch door so that I can see what will be shown. And then once I have that part down, I flip it up like this and I continue it on this page so it still looks like a complete drawing on the last page. So I'm going to keep on doing that, just going back and forth with all of these different leaves, the almond shaped leaves that have the lines on the inside, this flower right here with the 5 petals. I'm not sure what the name of that flower is. There was someone in my comments who told me what that flower was that I was drawing in March. So if you know what this is, girl, let me know. This is more of a daisy, and then those little bulbs again. So I'm just going to go back and forth, flipping the page back, seeing what I can fill in, and then continuing the collage on the back page. So I'm just filling in with any size of leaf. If it's a big space, I fill it in with the big leaves. If it's a small space, I fill it in with the little bulbs or half of a flower. I also continue it on the top pages as well, like I did right there. And I really like how this turned out. So I'm going to then go in and fill in her jawline on the front page using the same leaf that I have sticking out from my mood tracker. I didn't plan on doing this, but when I flipped it back, I was like, duh, that's what we're gonna do. That's cute. So at this point, this is like part 2 of day 2, and I have now moved inside because the sun keeps getting in the way of the glory of this page. Okay. So I just keep on going. While my camera was off, while I was transitioning from outside to inside, I filled this page to the left with a whole bunch of doodles. Before I realized it, I had not turned on the camera and that page was done. So I'm sorry about that. Kind of got caught up in it. But this is the final flip through. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was very all over the place. And I will be back next Tuesday with another video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.